Yo, what's up guys? This is the final part of my E36 M52 Swap video. This is just a follow-up on what's happening with it, or how the car's running, my process in doing the swap, and yeah, so let's just jump right in. So when doing the swap, I found that what's it called? Finding parts was actually pretty easy. Um, the only really hard part was finding an engine, and that was in my price range. Uh, but as far as like parts, there's a whole lot. You got FCP Euro is a great source for getting parts because they have just a lot. It was so easy finding parts as far as that's concerned. But um, doing the swap, and like anyone can do it in my in anyone's garage. The only thing you really need is a hoist. But for the most part, it was pretty simple. Let's see. So the only issue I really had was this thing over here. So this right here, this fuel rail. What's it called? So first off, when you're doing the M50 manifold conversion uh, mod, you need to also swap over the fuel rail. The reason why I'm saying that is because way back in there is the fuel pressure regulator, and that was the issue I was having with before with when my engine wasn't starting. So you got two options. You can swap over the fuel rail, which is what I did from an M50, and just throw it on there with the regulator, and call it a day. However, on the stock M52s, they actually come with the fuel pressure regulator underneath the car. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you got this thing. So you get this thing over here. It literally falls. Don't mind that. Under the car, and what's it called? Installing this under the car seems a bit more convoluted than just swapping over that fuel rail. So that's one thing to take into consideration when you're doing the swap is the fuel rail. But as far as install was concerned, everything pretty much bolted up. It's bolted in because I believe, for the most part, from 92 to 99, the whole chassis was pretty much the same except for the engine, transmission, and differential. Yeah, so with any swap, the usual: make sure all your gaskets are sealed. Change your oil, replace your belts. Yeah. Personally, my power steering pump that came stock with the car went bad, so I had to get a refurbed one from AutoZone, which worked out fine. And yeah. So actually, for the fuel rail, there's some weird. You kind of have to just do your own rigging for the fuel, just because it's such a weird. It's a little different compared to the stock M52 fuel rail. You just kind of have to make your own, rig it to the to your return and to your fuel filter. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're doing the swap. Is that it's been about a couple months since I did the swap, and for what it is, it's been holding up really good. I've been daily driving it. It is pretty loud, just because I have another exhaust on there. But as long as you're not doing any dumb shit, you're fine. For the wiring, it was actually pretty simple. Well, first you're gonna want to get an ECU that it has EWS, which is like BMW security system. There are some sites, some places that can do the delete. You just have to find it. As far as wiring concerned, all you need to do is just, I don't know if I explained it in my last video clearly, but it's just literally two wires that plug into these two plugs, and that's it. Mine's did a pretty shitty job doing it, but it works. Let's see. And that's pretty much it. What else? Oh. Don't do this. I zip tied the coolant reservoir through the radiator. It's best to get like a, what's it called? Another shroud. This piece over here. This should be there. But I'm a little too lazy to put that on. But because that works fine. So another thing I could have done differently was cleaned out the guibo. That's that little rubber piece that sits between the drive shaft and transmission. I should have replaced that with like a polyurethane one, but I was so pressed for time because I just didn't replace it. So that's one thing I could have done differently. That's probably one of the most hardest things about the swap was just that little piece of rubber. Yeah, so basically, for the most part, doing the swap it's something anyone can do. It's pretty easy. Just make sure when you're doing your M50 manifold swap, you swap over the fuel rail as well, or if you want to go crazy and just, you know, continue using this, that works too. I never found a way to do it, and I never saw any write-up online for it. So yeah, so make sure your fuel is on there. For wiring, just make sure you have an ECU that is for the engine and has that EWS deleted off the ECU. And then lastly, what's the last thing? Your wiring is just literally a couple wires, like literally 2 wires just pinned together on the X20. And that's if the chassis is OBD1 and the engine OBD2. As far as reverse goes, I am not sure. I believe I would assume it's the same. But yeah. And then obviously do your Vanos reseal, oil pan, what's it called? Oil pan gasket, oil filter gasket, because believe it or not, that thing goes bad. And also the water pump. Make sure you get a metal one instead of that plastic one. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I just wanted to finish it up, just to give out some knowledge or whatever. Yeah. Oh, I also deleted the forgot ACS, which is like basically the cruise control. It's just another plate that comes on here. Just delete it and put on this boot's actually off a Z3. So for the air. So it has that. And yeah, so hopefully guys, hopefully for you guys that are doing the swap, that I hope this helped a lot with your process. So as far as plans is for 2022, just continue modding my cars and then make them the best they can be. Except for that car is staying stock. But let's see. I still need to take this car to the track, which is what I've been saying for the longest, but I've just been so busy with life shit. I do want to put some new wheels on there, and then I think I'll be done with that for this build for a while. After I'm done with that, and then I do want to build up the Prelude. I do want to do a B16 swap with it. And I know some of you are like, oh, just do a B18 or a B20, it's more power. But it's like it's a B16, man. And actually, for the longest time, I've been wanting to do one ever since I had my old Civic. But unfortunately, I got rid of that to get this. But yes, that's something I plan on doing. It's just hard finding parts for that thing, because for some reason I had to pick like the most expensive time to buy car parts. So I guess that's it for the video. I just really wanted to give you just the final part to the swap, as well as just some plans for this year that's coming up. Just do more car shit, and yeah. So thank you guys for watching, and yes, see you next time.
3,